Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is April Carter, and I am here with my wonderful teammate, Andrea Hill, and we're with Tennessee Nonprofit Network. Thank you so much for joining us for this very intriguing conversation. We are here to talk about the 2025 Regional Nonprofit Storytelling Summit, and we are here with our really good friend and special guest, Naomi Asher, and she is going to be giving us a little bit of insight into who she is and her session and why you should join us at the Nonprofit Storytelling Summit. So hello, Andrea. Hello, Naomi.
Ah,
Hello.
So now I'm so excited for this conversation. Known you for a long time, love your personality, and you are an excellent presenter, so much so that you are in high demand to come back. So with all of that, you know you better than I do. So can you just give us a little bit of background about who you are and why folks should be excited about, and why you're excited about presenting at the Nonprofit Storytelling Summit?
absolutely. So thank you so much, first of all, for all those sweet, kind words. Yeah, so I've been in nonprofit management and leadership for about 18 years. And this past January, I just launched my own consulting company, the Maven Consulting. And I love that name because what it means is to pass advice, relevant and timely advice to others from learned experiences. And so that's really what I seek to do. I certainly don't consider myself, an expert or a know-it-all. But I have had a lot of experiences, and I love sharing those experiences and the lessons that I've been able to learn through those experiences with others in hopes that it may help them. And I really love talking about organizational culture. I love talking about how do we support each other and provide a space that we can grow and support each other. And one of the best ways to do that is through storytelling. So I'm really, really excited for the summit, mostly because so often when we think about storytelling, we think about external storytelling, and I get to flip that around a little bit and talk about internal storytelling. But it's going to be a really great day. I've seen the lineup, and I'm so honored to be one of the speakers alongside such incredible people bringing such wisdom to our area.
Well, thank you for that, Naomi. One of the things that I would like to know is without giving us too much information, like we
Yeah.
want them to come to the conference and see all the wonderful things and hear your wonderful session. But without giving too much away, tell us just a little bit, like a teaser, about your session and what attendees can expect.
Absolutely. So, like I said, we're really going to be talking a lot about organizational culture, but I'm pursuing my PhD in nonprofit burnout, and I know that's something that Tennessee Nonprofit Network has done a lot of work around. We're seeing huge burnout numbers. And what I am finding over and over again is that the number one burnout banisher is hope and connection. And so when we can come together and have that connection with each other and remind each other that the importance of the work that we're doing, that we're changing lives, tell these stories to each other, value each other as the stakeholders, that can really help to fend off burnout. It will increase productivity. It'll increase an ability to communicate and a willingness to learn from each other. So we're going to not only talk about the importance of internal storytelling, we're going to talk about how we can do that. We've got some tips and tricks and other things and some different activities that we're going to be doing. But I'm just so passionate and excited about this because I love talking about how to improve your organization's just the vibe, I guess, is the best way to say it. Like, how do you build that culture where people love each other? How do we get this negativity out of here, especially in such a challenging time where so many of us feel terrified, for one, and like under attack? So, how do we maintain positivity in times like that and really focus on building each other up so that we can accomplish more and do that together?
I really, really love that. And I love how you focus on the internal story. And there's a bit
Mhm.
of vulnerability that comes from that because we all tell the story of the organization. And I really
Yeah.
appreciate the title of your session, Telling the Deeper Story. Not just
Mhm.
staying on the surface, but telling a deeper story. So when you think
Yeah.
about those deeper stories that you've encountered that nonprofits
Mhm.
tell, how does that transform how nonprofits engage with the community or engage with their stakeholders
Yeah.
as they tell that deeper story?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things is I love that you just brought up vulnerability. So often, especially for leaders, we think that it's a bad thing to show an area that we weren't perfect or to be very honest because we feel vulnerable. And I think that part of it is, my employees won't respect me anymore if I show that I have a weakness. And that's just so the opposite of the truth. Um, when I've worked in organizations with leaders like that, it's really hard. It builds an environment where you feel like you can't make mistakes, or like you're going to be faulted for making mistakes. And what that creates is an environment of constant cover up. And when we're vulnerable as leaders and we share that, and hey, here's an area that I wasn't perfect. Let's walk through this story, like just telling that this is what happened, but look at these outcomes that we're reaching anyway. And we are willing to be very vulnerable. What that does is it creates that vulnerability with everybody. And I've seen organizational culture shift so significantly through that when we're willing to be very honest and vulnerable and get to some of those deeper issues like, hey, my feelings were hurt when they shouldn't have been hurt, or I said this in a way that some of y'all react in a very different way than I anticipated. Let's talk about it. Let's dig into it. What that does is it creates a sense of honest, authentic transparency and trust that then when anybody in the organization is out there talking about the mission, it is so easy to be so excited about the work that's being done because we all understand and trust each other and know what each other's doing. And we have that level of faith and trust in each other to be looking out for each other and to be very honest and vulnerable.
Now, I can attest to this, Andre, and I know that it's your turn, but just on a personal note, just building that internal trust.
Mhm.
Um, that's how I have a husband today. Andre, Andrea, just having those conversations, as she was kind of grooming me just around
Mhm.
the program position and a little bit about fundraising,
Yep.
eh, guiding me to be more open and tell more stories and to take risk
Mhm.
and things like that. And she kind of flipped it to my personal life. She was like, "If that man
Yeah.
has been asking you out, go out with him." I'm like, "Wait, where did that come from?" And I took that advice because I learned to trust her, and we were telling stories that was supposed to be about the organization and our goals that somehow I dipped into my personal life, and here it is, 2 years later, I recently married. So I can fully attest to that.
I love that. I love it.
I'm so glad I was able to help. No, but what you said, I think that is important. And what really resonated with me was also, thank you for that, April. Because the other piece is like just the art of the cover up, almost, if you will. And
Mhm.
that's a session of its own or a hashtag of its own.
Yep.
And when you don't have that vulnerability, you don't have the ability to share your stories and
Mhm.
to make mistakes, but also know that you can learn from those mistakes.
Mhm.
It's a freedom in that and
Yeah.
a growth and impact in that as well. So
Yeah.
I'm ready for your session. I can learn something and I can share it on with the people that I help to mentor around
Yeah.
Memphis and the state too. So you're going to make me better. Now your question, my question for you is:
Mhm.
are you drawn to more to listening to a great story or great stories, or are you more of a natural storyteller?
I want to be the first so bad, but I am a storyteller. I'm a storyteller by nature, by heart. My mom said I was like 3 years old and I was walking around telling stories. I absolutely And you can ask my husband, he'll start to tell a story and he gets mad at me all the time because I jump in and I'll start adding stuff. And I'm like, it's cute how we tell stories together. He's like, it's not cute. It's not cute. You take over all the time. So I definitely am a storyteller, but I do love hearing stories. I love anything that ignites the passion in somebody. I just get so excited to hear, what is it that you love right now? When you wake up in the morning, what's the one thing that makes you excited? Like, I remember so I'm a big coffee drinker, but I was at a coffee shop and the guy just started talking about the story behind these coffee beans and like the whole, like the journey of the coffee bean. And I was just enthralled and like just could have listened for hours and hours and hours. Even if I didn't even like coffee, I probably could have. Like, I just love how people get so excited about things and it's just what fuels them. And so I feed off that level of excitement. But give me the opportunity, as you can tell, I will run and start talking and never stop.
Absolutely, and our audience loves it. It was high demand. Like, we want Miss Asher back. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
thank
okay,
you.
okay. So just April 23rd will be the opportunity to register for the Nonprofit Storytelling Summit. So with all of that, we know that you're a wonderful storyteller, and you've been around storytellers. You've had that great experience. So if you think all the way back in history, or maybe someone unknown in your current life, if you could have dinner with one storyteller, who would it be and why?
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's such a hard question. There's so many people that I would pick. Um, honestly, probably my mom's dad. I never got to meet him. Apparently, I was 6 months old when he passed away. And she said that he used to carry me around and was like jiggling my chunky legs. Like, he loved me because I had thick legs. And the way she talks about him, that he was so vibrant and just walked into a room and like everybody wanted to hear what he had to say, and that he was really entertaining. And there was just so many things that I think I would I could learn from him, and I would love to see if I really have inherited a lot of traits from him, because I've heard over and over that I have. And so I would just really love to sit with him and see like how much of this is just having learned how to be and how much of it is just, I'm just like my granddaddy. So that's probably who I would pick.
I'm sure it is those beautiful genes flowing through you, because you are a natural storyteller. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I absolutely love that story, and we'll have to talk about it a little more when we're in Knoxville on April the 23rd. But
Yeah.
if you have not registered, we still have, at the time of the recording, about 30 seats remaining. So visit tnnonprofits with an s.org. That's tnnonprofits.org to get your registration secured. It is April 23rd, 2025 at Bridgewater Place in Knoxville, Tennessee. A beautiful place, a beautiful town. We love Knoxville. So pack up your car if you're traveling from West or Middle Tennessee. If you are in Knoxville, just head on down the road and join us together. It is going to be an amazing day. And it's also Shakespeare's birthday, from what I hear. And so we will do a little celebration in honor of Shakespeare, because it's a perfect tie-in to the storytelling conference for nonprofits. Now, Naomi, if someone wanted to kind of go down a rabbit hole and find out who Naomi of the Maven Consulting is prior to April the 23rd, how could they
Mhm.
connect with you?
NaomiTheMaven.com is my website. I am on all of the socials. You can find me. But yeah, just hit me in my DMs, email me, whatever. I love connecting with new friends.
Fantastic. Any closing words, Andrea?
I think this is going to be an amazing storytelling summit put on by April Carter. So give her a round of applause before and after it's over.
It was a
But
team.
it definitely a team, though. Definitely you corrected and moved the team along. But I think for me, the Storytelling Summit is so timely, and it's an awesome opportunity to hear speakers like you come out, but also to hear how do we tell our story to lawmakers? How do we tell our story to fundraisers or to corporations and foundations? How do we tell our story internally? And how do we tell our story with those who are our clients and or partners? And so I think this is a really perfect opportunity for us to share, to learn from our workshops, but also to network and connect with each other. So when everyone who's watching this video, when you get registered and you come out to our summit in Knoxville, please be prepared to learn, but also to share your knowledge as a natural storyteller as well with everyone that you come in contact with.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting with you in person again, Naomi, April 23rd at the Nonprofit Storytelling Summit. And we will see you on the next episode. Thanks so much.